Listener's note, warning, this show is loaded with gist so powerful, it might just push you into a relationship and straight down the aisle. If you're not ready to hear wedding bells and say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes, listen at your own risk. Edgar doesn't lie. Check Edgar out.
I just want to hold you, feel your arms around me and never let go.
Same here, my love. The way I'm going to carry you when I see you, your legs won't touch the ground.
You better not drop me, oh.
Drop, care. Never. I'll hold you so tight, you start begging me to let you go.
And after that?
After that, I'll look into your eyes, hold your face gently, and take you out on a proper date because I am a gentleman.
See suspense. But that's why I love you.
I love you too, baby. Baby, I want you to do something for me.
What do you want, my love?
Go to the window and look at the sky. Tell me what you see.
Edgar, what are you up to this time?
Are you at your window already?
Now I am. I can see the moon and some stars.
One day, I'll take you to the moon. Sadly, I can take you to the star.
Why?
Because you are already a star. A superstar.
Baby. Aww. Okay, you should sleep now. We have been talking for like 3 hours.
You sleep first.
No, you.
I am not going anywhere until you end the call.
Me too. I'm not cutting it.
You end the call.
You do it.
You end the call. You end the call. No, you do it.
You do it.
No.
You do it.
No.
You do it.
You.
You do it.
You.
You do it.
You. Okay, on 3, we both cut.
All right.
Right? 1, 2,
3.
You're still here?
You too.
As I was having a nice time with my babe, I noticed something. A shadow moved quickly behind her. A guy, I saw him see me. I thought it was my head, but it wasn't. So I asked her, baby, who was that?
Who was what?
Someone just passed behind you.
Nobody's here, baby.
Somebody passed, a guy. He wasn't wearing anything.
That's just my cousin.
Your cousin? Which of your cousins? But you never told me your cousin was around.
Hello?
Baby, talk to me now. I can hear you.
Hello?
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 What's wrong with this network? Okay, let me call her again. 0817.
The number you called is switched off.
What kind of wahala is this, for Christ's sake? Who is that guy? Check. This is a Check Edgar production. A Check Edgar production. This is for the single guys and the single ladies. Edgar doesn't lie. Why am I still single? Still single. Why am I still?
I want a wife and a family. This kind of life is not right for me. I told my guys how things can be. When I fall in love, I fall for real. I know you want me, don't waste my time. I want a girl that is set and fine. I'm going crazy, so please be mine. God, please, why?
Okay, sometimes I think about life and its greatest inventions. There are so many amazing things in this world that I wonder how they were created in the first place. Take for example, electricity. Imagine a world without electricity. Can you live in a world without electricity? That would be crazy. No light bulb, no battery, no computer, no washing machine. I know our forefathers and ancestors lived without it, but what kind of life did they really live? Okay, let's talk about the airplane. Can you imagine how people would have reacted to the first person that ever mentioned the idea of having humans fly in the sky? I am sure people would have thought the guy was drunk or mad. He can't be normal. He can't be normal. The airplanes is so massive, you are not just in the sky for minutes, sometimes hours, sometimes days. Isn't that crazy? Another invention is the internet. I consider this the second greatest invention after Gala and Lacasera combination. The internet is everything. The World Wide Web opened up the internet to everyone, not just scientists. It connected the world in a way that made it much easier for people to get information, share and communicate, especially through mobile phones. People spend hours on their mobile phones, scrolling, swiping, watching and texting, sometimes without even realizing how much time has passed. Take a look around you. 4 out of 5 people right now are using their phones, including you. The 5th person doesn't have data. Even without data, people still enjoy using their phones, from playing games or listening to music. Sometimes you can also use your phone to check your emails, to arguing with strangers on Twitter, from watching confused parents on TikTok dancing, to sending WhatsApp broadcast messages that nobody reads. Our phones have become an extension of our hands. But out of all these things the internet has given us, one of the biggest game changers has been video calls. Before, if you missed someone, you had only 3 options. 1. Pray that someone who knew them was coming to visit you, so you could quickly send a message like, "Please, help me tell Amaka I still love her, and that I am not the one that broke the lantern." 2. Rely on long dramatic love letters or make expensive international calls at business centers, where after 2 minutes you hear,
"Your account balance is too low to make this call. Please recharge."
And finally, attack them in your dreams. Yes, if all else failed, you just show up in their sleep like, "So you don't want to call me, Abby? Don't you know I'm missing you, idiot?" That was it. Those were your options. But now, the internet has changed everything. One tap and boom, you're on a video call, face to face with anyone, anywhere in the world. American wonder. You guys can imagine me and my family. Life has separated us into different parts of the world. My sister is based in Ireland, my brother is in the UK, my parents are based in Ibadan, Oyo State, and I am stuck in Lagos. You can imagine the joy on my mother's face whenever she's on the phone with my younger brother in the UK, or on a video call with my sister teaching her how to make pap or custard. Life without video calls. Kai, wouldn't it be nice if we had a way to communicate with the dead or see them on video? I am sure there are some important people we have lost we would really love to see again, right? It is amazing how you can now reach the ends of the world through video calls. Need to catch up with family in China or Namibia? Video call. Want to attend a work meeting in another country? Video call. Want to show your baby bump to the man who denied the pregnancy? Video call. Trying to borrow money but want to look serious while begging? Video call. Everything is possible these days on video call. And while video calls are great for business meetings, online classes, and begging your boss for a deadline extension, they have become the heartbeat of modern relationships, especially for people in long-distance relationships, where video calls are not just a feature of love, they are the only thing holding love together. You see, for those of you who have your partners in your city, you don't know the amazing thing God has done for you. You are experiencing what I call contact love. Yes, contact love, where love is real and simple. You guys meet physically once or twice a week, hold hands, share meals, hug, kiss if you are married, or do the do when the do needs to be done. My point is that you feel the love for real, whether the network is good or the network is bad. You don't have to lose a G because of 4G. Oh my god. See bars now. Now, by the way, if you're in Lagos and you live in Ikorodu, while your partner lives in Aja, my friend, you are not a contact lover. You are a content lover. You are in a long distance relationship. Nonsense. Some of you will claim you are in the same city, but only see once a month like, oh, let me just keep quiet. Someone might be eating. But you get the point. But in a long distance relationship, you are only as good as your phone battery. If you live in areas where NEPA runs away from, then you are on your own. With long distance, you rely heavily on video calls. You replace date nights with watching each other eat, cuddles with hugging your pillow, kissing with kissing the phone screen. And I wonder how they do when the do needs to be done. You can't hold each other, feed each other, or even wipe tears off their face when they cry. But at least you can watch each other breathe.
Let's be poor. Breathe. Don't suffocate them.
One scary thing about being in a long distance relationship is when your partner says,
Babe, can we chat instead? Let's talk on the phone.
Instead of talking on the video call. Just know something is up or you are in serious trouble. Because video calls do more than just help you talk. They help you see emotions. They help you read body languages. And most importantly, they help you detect nonsense. That is why for people in long distance relationships, video calls aren't a luxury. It is a necessity. And yet, even with all the technology, long distance relationships are still one of the hardest things in the world. You see, there is nothing in this life as difficult as convincing people in a long distance relationship. They are the biggest optimists in the world. It is easier to convert a religious person, a thief from Ibadan, or even my landlord not to increase his rent than to convince people in a long distance relationship. Okay, wait. Scratch that last part. You can't convince my landlord too, but you get the point. The worst part is that it is like they are all in the same WhatsApp group because they all say the same thing. Distance is just a number. If we truly love each other, we can make it work. One day, we'll wake up in each other's arms. One day? Which day? Because in reality, long distance love is suffering disguised as romance. And I'll tell you why. 93.7% of the time, the phases are the same. 94.7 actually. When the relationship starts, it feels fresh and soft like agege bread. You are using pet names and romantic slurs. You are the apple of my eye, the water in my coconut, the brown seed in my cherry, the one that makes me shiver, the one that makes me go gaga. Everything is beautiful. You spend 18 hours every day on the phone with them, doing everything together. First month, second month, third month, it's not that bad. Then the second year hits and the reality begins to wear trousers and adjust pants. First, it is the network. MTN isn't everywhere you go all of a sudden. Glow doesn't glow in the dark anymore. Airtel can't tell the best time to call. Nine Mobile has denied you an amazing experience. Then the Ogar of them all, the 5-star general, NEPA. NEPA has decided to show its true colors. Blackout. You can't see your baby because you are in Egbeda and you are now using Band A. Love languages are now useless. You are tired of repeating the same thing over and over again. Like play. The lady in your church is entering your eye. After all, she sometimes comes over to cook for you. Fried rice and chicken peri Sunday afternoon. Special Holy Communion. You know how much you love fried rice, right? Exactly. Jealousy and trust issues suddenly start doing the moonwalk inside the relationship. You start noticing the different things you didn't notice from the beginning. Her nose is big. She has H factor. She doesn't send nudes or show her nakedness like your ex, even if you beg her from now till Jesus comes. It feels like you are dating an AI and nothing is real anymore. Then you get to the semi-final stage where nobody plans to relocate for the other person. You plan to Jakba, which is good, but she's rooted in Akwa Ibom and doesn't like Canada because they told her Canada is too cold. She would not survive, she would die. She doesn't want to die. Akwa Ibom is the best place for her skin. The early morning sun makes her pop, and she likes to pop. After 3 months of breakdancing and shoki, you make it to the final phase where Uncle A and Auntie B decided to break the table by asking the obvious question: what are we even doing? Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying long distance relationships do not work. Of course they do. I know people who met themselves in a Facebook group that are married today. They didn't even see themselves until the night before the wedding. They dated for 8 years and their marriage today is rock solid. But before you say and start planning your own love across borders, remember that the stats do not favor you. For every one couple that makes it, there are 50 others still waiting for their partner's visas to be approved, only to later find out they have already relocated with someone else. For every happily married couple, there are 10 people who realized too late that they were actually in a relationship with themselves. Because let's be honest, long distance is not for the weak. It's an emotional gymnastics, financial investment, and premium data consumption all in one. And if there is no plan to make it short distance, my brother, my sister, then fasten your seatbelt and cruise into your heartbreak. Have I ever been in a long distance relationship? Yes, I have twice. I'll tell you about one of them after the short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, right? Edgar doesn't lie. Check Edgar out.
Promo.
Tired of waking up in the morning to a lonely bed? Has your pillow been giving you the silent treatment? Are you tired of rewatching old romantic movies, wondering when it would finally be your turn to fall in love while walking in the rain hand in hand with your soulmate? Well, we have absolutely nothing to solve your problem. In fact, I'm here to offer you nothing. No miracle cure, no magic potion, nothing. Not even a free t-shirt. Just the smooth, buttery sound of my voice. But if you have a business, a product, or even a secret family recipe for jollof rice that you think the world needs to know about, here is your chance. Until I get real sponsors and actual products, you will have to endure these silly ads. But you can change that. Yes, you can be the hero of this podcast by sponsoring an episode. Send me an email to edgar@checkedgar.com if you want to hear your business being advertised in the smoothest, most handsomely voiced way possible. Until then, well, brace yourself, checkmates. This is what you get.
Okay, welcome back, checkmates. It's still your boy, Check Edgar, aka the guy with the baritone voice, aka the most handsome podcaster in Nigeria, aka the guy the ladies die to have until the guy dies. Please don't take me too seriously, I beg. I'm just kidding. Okay, if you have ever listened to the episode Breakfast in Bed, where I talked about Fola, then you remember that I mentioned that I have only dated 3 ladies in my life, or maybe 5. Fola, Tolu, Elizabeth, Hafiza, and Tokbe. Those were the only ladies in my life I remember asking out. Allegedly. Today, I am going to talk about Tolu and our long distance relationship. So how did I meet Tolu? So one of my friends from uni invited me for this wedding. You know those kind of people that everyone has been praying to God for to get married. Those ones we call Ancient of Days. Exactly. This guy was hitting his early 40s, and before the devil laughed last, God gave him his missing rib. It was a big deal, something to celebrate. So you can imagine the kind of people that came for the wedding. Our university mates, his different office colleagues, his neighbors, family, friends, and even his village people. Everybody came. Clinton is getting married. Jesus be praised. Another thing is that people came to the wedding for different reasons. Some came to celebrate with him. Some came to verify if the wedding is true. Some came to eat and fill their belly. And lastly, some came to catch babes. As a matter of fact, I was one of them, because the amount of babes I saw there, every guy could go home with two babes each. So when they called his friends to come out and dance, a lot of us came out. I also went to dance. As I was showcasing my inner Chris Brown, everyone started feeling my moves. People stopped dancing and focused on me. Before I knew it, out of nowhere, one girl like that just jumped into the center and started forming Rihanna. I said, okay. That was how I leveled up my dancing and everyone cheered for us. After the dancing, the MC now tried to match us together and forced us to exchange numbers. That was how I met Tolu, the second woman I ever asked out in my life. Fire dancer. This girl had energy for days. She danced like it was an instruction from the doctor, twice in the morning, twice at night. Now the truth is that I can't dance to save my life. I can move my body and misbehave, but dancing isn't in me. After the wedding, I called her to be sure the number wasn't fake. You know how Nigerian women can be now. Surprisingly, it wasn't. I told her I wanted to learn some dance moves and teach her mine. She just laughed and I laughed as well. I asked her where she stays and she gave me the first red flag out of 5.
I stay in Abuja, but my parents are based in Ibadan.
Chai! I started feeling some kind of way. She is in Abuja and I am in Lagos. How will this work? Anyway, we started chatting, spending hours on the phone. We would watch dance movies together, gist, gossip, talk late into the night, and wake ourselves up with video calls. One interesting sign that informs you a lady likes you, is when she starts telling you to pick the color of clothes she should wear. We had our own little world where distance didn't matter. That time, flying from Lagos to Abuja wasn't so expensive. I would go there and spend time with her. She would do the same as well. We met physically like once in 2 months. It did not take long. I just felt the vibe was right and she was the one. So I called her and I asked her out. Yeah, hi babe. Ever since we met at the wedding, my life has not been the same. I love you and want us to be together forever. Will you be my girlfriend?
Yes!
And that was it. I was in another serious relationship. Now the video calls were more intense. We spent hours every day talking on the phone. As a matter of fact, there were days we would even sleep on the call because no one wanted to end the call. Every morning I woke up to some love messages and every night to some love kisses, love wanting tea. Hey! Love is hard enough when you see each other every day. But love with bad network, missed calls, and 600 kilometers of distance, that one is a full-time job. At first, we handled it very, very well. We sent good morning texts before brushing our teeth. We stayed up all night, whispered sweet nonsense into the phone. We counted down the days till our next visit. But as time passed, the distance became a problem. Now, at the start, every I miss you was real. I miss your smile, I miss your laugh, I miss the way you call my name. But later on, every I miss you started sounding like a prayer request. I would say, I miss you, and she would reply, aww. She would say, I miss you, and I would just stare at the message like, is it me or this relationship is dying? Because missing someone is cute until you start wondering if they miss you back. You would think that Abuja and Lagos are in the same time zone. But when you're in a long distance relationship, time feels different. By the time I woke up, she was already halfway through her day. By the time she was free to talk, I was exhausted. Calls became shorter, replies became slower. Little by little, we talked less. And when you talk less, you start thinking more. And when you think more, you start overthinking. And overthinking is the death of long distance love. If we're in the same city, we could have fought and settled in person. A hug can fix misunderstandings. A date night can reset the mood. A simple come outside, let's talk can stop a breakup. But with long distance, arguments last longer. There is no physical presence to soften the anger. Every small issue becomes a text war. Every disagreement ends in, I'm just tired, let's talk later. The worst part, you can't even pull up to their house for closure. You have to sit with your emotions and trust that you are not moving mad, which in my case, she was. But that was what the second red flag was, the constant request for sex. Now, normally, this wouldn't be an issue, but she had told me she was a virgin. I don't know, but there is always this fear of sleeping with a virgin. You know how people say Okafor's law, or she will never forget you. And I don't want someone to carry my glory, or carry my star, or carry someone else's glory. Whenever she came to visit me, she would say,
Babe, please now, let's just do it. Please now, I need it.
I would tell her not to worry about it. After we get married, I will spend all my hours on her. She would just laugh, shake her head and say,
You and this your sweet mouth.
But deep down, I knew it was an issue. She wanted more of me, more time, more attention, more presence. And to be honest, I just wanted to be a good boyfriend, and maybe I was super busy at the time, but I knew sex wasn't the price to pay. So I adjusted. I made sure to call more, text faster, and even sacrifice sleep just to hear her talk about her day. And to be honest, I hate sacrificing my sleep. I thought we were fine. Everything was going well until our first major argument. It wasn't even that deep. Maybe I replied late. Maybe I sounded distracted on the phone. Maybe I forgot to say I love you back before hanging up. You know, it was a little thing. But one small thing to you could be big to another person. One small argument became a big fight. She called me one time and said,
I feel like I'm dating myself.
I said, why would you say that? She said,
You don't make me feel wanted.
I said, I am doing my best. And to be honest, I was. But even if she didn't say it, I knew the sex was the issue. She did not even let me explain myself. She just hung up. I thought, no wahala now, we'll talk later. Maybe she isn't in the mood. But that was just the beginning of the end. After that argument, things started changing. She wasn't as sweet anymore, calls became shorter, texts took longer, and worst of all, she stopped posting me. Before, my name was everywhere on her WhatsApp status. Love of my life, my world, see as my baby fine, eh? This girl used me as a profile picture for a while. But now, silence. The sad part was that she stopped posting me and started posting one random guy like that. At first, I ignored it. I wasn't the jealous type. Maybe she was just trying to tell me something, but I didn't really care. Anyone can post anybody. I am not her father who start asking her, why is she posting a man? When I didn't respond, she started posting more pictures of the same guy. This time, the pictures were different. Pictures that will make you open your mouth. The first one, they were holding hands. I said, okay. Then they were laughing, hanging out, and even dancing together. Now, the most annoying thing was the fake motivational quotes she used on her status with those pictures. You know those quotes that women love to use? Quotes like, surround yourself with good energy, good vibes only. It got so bad that it got to a point where Noel and Fela had to ask me if we were still dating or if I was dating myself. Noel told me to ask her who the guy was and trash whatever issue we had because it was clear that there was something going on. So I called her and I asked her, hey babe, what's up now? Who is that guy? She laughed.
So my baby is jealous, eh? He's just a friend.
Just a friend? Every Nigerian man knows that this sentence is the beginning of heartbreak. The moment you hear he is just a friend, just know that it is all over. The breakup is coming with power bank. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to trust that she wouldn't do me dirty. But deep down, something wasn't right. I told myself I wouldn't overthink it. If she said he was just a friend, then maybe he is just a friend. I mean, friends hug and sit on each other, right? I kept quiet and tried to move on. If we had been in the same city, maybe, just maybe, we would have worked. Maybe I would have noticed the red flags earlier. Maybe I wouldn't have ignored the signs because I didn't have to trust the process. Maybe she wouldn't have needed another guy to keep her company. Maybe when she felt neglected, I could have been there, physically and emotionally. But in long distance, if you don't talk, there is nothing else to hold you together. If you don't see each other, imagination will replace your reality. And when someone new enters the picture, it's game over. So yes, distance killed us. But maybe, just maybe, we were dying already. One weekend like that, she told me she was traveling to visit her auntie. I asked if her aunt was fine. She said yes. She said her auntie asked her to come around to help her take care of her baby for the weekend. I was like, okay. Although it just felt very funny. Your auntie couldn't find anyone around her. You are traveling all the way from Abuja to Jos just because someone needs you to take care of their baby. Again, I didn't say anything. I just wished her a safe trip. I even sent her money for transport because I was a caring boyfriend. The third red flag was when she told me not to call her until she got back because the network at her auntie's place was bad and apparently the baby needs some quiet. Now, this didn't make any sense to me. First of all, what kind of baby hears phone calls? Secondly, if the network was so bad, how was she still replying my text? She had no problem texting, but somehow calls were suddenly forbidden. I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't want to jump to conclusion. So like a fool in love, I let it slide. She said she would call me when she arrived. Hours passed, no calls, even by night, no updates. I was worried. I sent a text. Hey babe, hope you got there safely. Will you believe that the next morning, she called me and started ranting on the phone that I didn't call her to check up on her at all. I argued back and said she told me not to call her. She argued too and said I was meant to call her after a long while of not hearing from her. I started having a headache. I tried to switch the call to video. She refused and said she wasn't wearing anything. I said okay. The next morning, everything was about to change the minute I went on WhatsApp. She had posted a picture of herself dancing with a guy in his house. She blocked me obviously, but forgot to block Fela. It was Fela that screen recorded it and sent it to me. The annoying part was that, oh my god, the annoying part was the caption she used. Vibes and soft life. Vibes and soft life? I just zoomed in. It was the same guy from before, the just a friend guy. This girl did not fear God though. You traveled from Abuja to Jos to see a guy. From one long distance to another long distance. My chest tightened. I called her immediately. She didn't pick up. I called again, no answer. Then finally, she sent a text.
Babe, sorry, I was sleeping. You okay?
Oh, now she was sleeping. I replied. Where exactly are you? She took about 5 minutes to respond. Then she dropped the biggest insult of all time.
With my aunt now, where else?
My blood was boiling. I wasn't even angry at the fact that she lied. I was angry at how bad the lie was. She didn't try to be creative. She didn't even delete the status before lying to me. I called her again. This time, she picked up. Tolu, where are you right now?
I already told you, with my aunt.
I took a deep breath. Then why did you post a video of yourself dancing in a man's house? Silence. Complete uncomfortable silence. Then she dropped the biggest bombshell of my life.
Okay. How did you know? Who told you?
Who told me? Is that the issue here? The next thing she said was that he lived near her auntie and she came to say hi. At this point, I was getting upset. Then she was in between saying the truth and a lie when she mistakenly said,
Babe, I'm sorry. Look, I don't even know how it happened.
She didn't know how it happened? Did she fall and land in Jos? Did she trip and accidentally enter his house? Shisha continued.
Babe, I swear it didn't mean anything. I know you already know too. It was just that one time.
Why will you... Wait a minute. My brain was not clicking before. Tolu, did you have sex with him? She started crying. It was as if my brain stopped working for a while and got back together. I asked her, the time you told me you were going to visit your parents, did you really go to them? When you went to help your friend with her wedding dress, did you really travel for that, or have you been going to Jos just because he agreed to sleep with you? She wanted to use cry to cover it up, but I wasn't going to have it. The next thing she said was,
Edgar, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It wasn't once. It was twice. It was twice.
She said she bled seriously after the first time and went back the second time because the useless guy told her it would be better the second time. I did not even say anything. I just ended the call. She kept calling and begging me, but I did not even know how to respond. After a while, I started to forget because I had forgiven her already. People make mistakes, no problem. I really liked her, and funnily enough, cheating isn't my ultimate red flag. I told myself we could make it work. We talked about it on a video call and settled it like a proper mature couple. After all, the sex you have been crying and craving for, you have had it, Abi. So let's move on. Until the day she posted him again on his birthday, I started to feel some kind of way. She posted about 5 different pictures of this guy. It was like she was trying to tell me something. My head started to overthink. Every time she said, "I love you," I wondered, did she say that to him too? Every time she texted, "I miss you," I just thought, is she texting him as well? Because we are both far from her. I am in Lagos and he's in Jos. I tried to let it go, but deep down, I couldn't. Then one day I just snapped. One evening, I just picked up my phone and I called her. Tolu, I can't do this anymore.
Babe, what do you mean?
If I'm being honest, I have fallen out of love with you. She panicked.
Oh, babe, no, please. We can walk through this. Please, babe. Please.
But I was done. No amount of tears could erase what had happened. She cried. She begged. She swore she had changed. That she would never post this guy. But I was seeing him in my dreams at some point already. Her friends begged, even her mom, but I wasn't going back. I was already her ex. And that was the last time we ever spoke. Months later, not a year, months later, I was finally moving on. I was going through Facebook when I stumbled upon some interesting pictures. Her wedding pictures. And guess who she married? Another guy from the same wedding where we met. At this point, I had questions. How many guys did she collect number from at that wedding? Was I just the side quest in her love story? Did she come for the wedding, or was she there to hunt for men the same way I came to hunt for women? I couldn't stop laughing. I just shook my head and moved on. My people, checkmates, listen. If you have to force a relationship, it is not love, it is stress. If someone cheats on you, they can do it again. If she has a male bestie, you might just be the side guy. And finally, never trust a girl you meet at a wedding. She is probably collecting numbers for her next relationship because Cupid is not stupid. But sometimes we are. They say distance makes the heart grow fonder. But what they don't tell you is that distance also makes the mind wander. Long distance relationships are not just about love. They are about trust, communication, and patience. And if there is no plan to close the distance, then all you are doing is dragging heartbreak on a long journey. Because at the end of the day, love needs presence, love needs effort, and most importantly, love needs proximity. So before you enter long distance, ask yourself, how long are we staying apart? Who is moving and when? Can we truly survive the distance? If the answer to any of these is, I don't know, then my brother, my sister, you are just dating yourself. Long distance will test your patience. And trust me, patience always runs out. And that's the end of this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then don't forget to subscribe and share the podcast with those who are single, dating, or married. Rate the podcast and drop a comment. I am still on tour, and that has been affecting the release date. So sometimes I drop on Fridays, Saturdays, or Sunday. But make sure you guys are always checking. Remember, Edgar doesn't lie. And yes, you can donate to support the podcast. $3 will go a long way. If you have a story to share, then please send it to me through my email address, edgar@checkedgar.com. Or for a quicker response, you can chat me with a chat box on my website, www.checkedgar.com. I'll respond in 3 hours, I promise. Edgar doesn't lie. Now remember, the podcast ends the day I get married. So don't Don't forget to tell your beautiful friends that Edgar is single and he would love to go on a date with her. If that lady is you, please send me a message to my email address at edgar@checkedgar.com. Edgar doesn't lie. Check Edgar out. Check Edgar out. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.